Morning, everyone. Now, this morning, this week has been all about challenges, right? We've been talking about challenges. We've been focused on challenges and what challenges mean to each one of us. This morning, well, yesterday actually, we spoke about victories in challenges. We spoke about how when we challenge or we are challenged, we end up being victorious. We spoke about how we see that in David versus Goliath. How David is stepping up to this challenge, unafraid of this challenge, not walking away from this challenge, not scared of this challenge. We see how David walks up with no fear to challenge Goliath, and how he walks up with God in his corner. See, we focused on how and why it's so important for us to be focused not only on God, but to not be afraid of the challenge that's in front of us. That's what we focused on yesterday. However, this morning, I want to look at the other side of that conversation. What happens when you're too tired? What happens when you're tired of challenges? I had a sister on here yesterday who spoke to me about how she had to go through challenges with a son with autism, her son with autism for about 20 some odd years. And she was saying how she is tired. She's tired of it. She's tired of constantly having to go through challenges. She's tired of having to experience challenges every single day. She says she's tired of it. And I could only shake my head because that's a hard thing to experience. That's a hard thing to do every single day. That's hard. It's hard to stand firm every single day knowing that you have to deal with the same thing day in, day out. The same challenges day in, day out. Some of us, we go to work and we have to deal with the same challenge every single day that we go to work. We got to deal with the employees, our coworkers, sometimes our commute. We have to deal with those people on the bus. I'm not talking about everybody on the bus, but sometimes the people who want to cause a stir. Sometimes we have the challenges when we're on the road driving. We got to be in the same traffic every morning. We got to be in the same traffic coming back home. And we got to deal with the same people on the road, the same type of people on the road. And we're sitting there, we're trying to figure out, when does it stop? Morning, one up. Morning, Brother Keith. Morning, my mother, Marisol. What happens when you are tired of it and you want it to stop? But it doesn't stop. And it seems like every single day, a challenge continually comes for you every day. What do you do then? So this morning, that's what our focus is going to be on. What happens when you're tired of challenges? Let's pray. Father God, we just want to thank you, Lord, for allowing us this opportunity this morning to spend time in your word. Father, we just want to thank you for gathering us and allowing us this opportunity this morning. Father God, as we look to the sunrise, the dawning of a new day, new Sabbath, we ask you, Lord, that you will continue to encourage us, continue to elevate us, continue to lift us up, Lord. Father God, I pray that you will continue to have mercy on us, continue to strengthen us, dear Lord, continue to walk with us. Father God, we just want to be a good servant and to praise your holy name. We love you and we thank you in Christ's name. Amen. Isaiah 40 verse 31 tries to gives us it gives us encouragement regarding what to do when we're tired of challenges. It says, "But they who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength." Stop there. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. There are moments in your life that you have to wait on the Lord, and sometimes you have to go through challenges while you wait. Sometimes those challenges are going to test your abilities. Those challenges are going to test you as an individual. Because those challenges, like I said yesterday, the challenges are not going to discriminate on you because you aren't ready. It's not going to wait upon you to be ready. Those challenges are going to occur whether you're ready or not. See, and when you feel as though that you're too tired to face those challenges, when you feel as though that you're too tired to take on those challenges, then I want to encourage you to that you need to wait on the Lord. Because by waiting on the Lord, He will renew your strength within you. See, the Lord is available, always present. And sometimes we have to go through challenges to sharpen ourselves. Sharpen ourselves, I should say. Sometimes we have to go through challenges to make us stronger individuals, to make us better, to make us wiser. We have to go through tough choices. We have to go through tough decisions. See, not everything is going to be handed to you easy. Life is not meant to be easy, especially if you are following the teachings of Christ. Your life is going to be difficult. And it's going to be difficult because Satan is always going to challenge you to the point that you want to throw in the towel on your entire journey. He would love for you to say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. I can't deal with these challenges. I can't deal with the fact that I don't have enough money in my bank account. I can't deal with the fact I got to wake up early to go to a job I don't like. I can't deal with the fact I got to now get my car fixed every single week. I can't deal with that fact. And because I can't deal with that fact, I just want to give up altogether. If I give up this walk with Christ, then maybe my life will be much easier. I was always told that Satan always bothers us, but when Satan has someone, he doesn't bother them. When Satan has someone in his grasp already, that person is not going to be bothered because he doesn't want to rock that boat. Satan doesn't want to rock that boat with that person, but Satan would rock our boat because if he rocks our boat enough, we will decide to jump out the boat because we can't deal with that bumpiness anymore. I want to encourage you this morning that you are to wait on the Lord when you feel as though that you are getting to that point where you are getting too tired, where you are getting to the point where you are getting too exhausted, that you can't push it, can't go anymore. Pretty now, what's up? What's up, that Gemini? How you doing? When you get to the point where you can't go any further, when you can't push any farther, then you get to that point that you want to say, you know what? I'm done. I can't do it no more. That's what Satan wants. Satan wants you to get so rattled. Satan wants you to get so shooken up that you don't even have a step to step on, that you don't even have a place to place your foot because you are getting so upset. That's what Satan wants. But see, that's the thing when it comes to God. He's going to renew your strength, but all you have to do is ask God to renew your strength. Sometimes we forget that all we need to do is ask a certain question, to ask of God. God, Bible says that if you ask, you will receive. If you seek, you will find. If you knock on the door, it shall be open to you. What makes you think that you can't do that any time of the day? What makes you think that you can't do that, period? See, what we also see here in the same verse, Isaiah 40, verse 31, that they shall mount up with wings of eagles. If you haven't seen the wingspan of an eagle has one of the largest wingspans of any flying creature on this planet. Did you know that? Fun fact. An eagle has the widest wingspans. One of the biggest eagles has about a wingspan of about, I want to say 60 inches. So about 4 feet. He's a small child. or small individual, like maybe 5 feet. I think that's the largest wingspan of an eagle. But you have to imagine that the eagle wasn't born with that type of wingspan. The eagle had to grow, had to develop. And while the wingspan starts to get big, the eagle has to work on its muscles in order to control that wingspan. If you've ever seen an eagle achieve lift, that is a process. It's a run, and then they have to stretch out their wings and they have to flap hard to cause the wind underneath them to lift them up. And then they have to go through that process over and over again. That's why a winged eagle is so large. That's what this verse is trying to explain to us. Sometimes we are going to start off short. We're going to start off small because we're still growing in our faith. We are going to start off very, very weak because we are growing in our faith. And as we continue to grow, as we continue to expand our arms, as we continue to expand ourselves, we will start to gain strength. But it takes time, it takes effort to get to that point. You have to continue to flap your wings. You have to continue to show yourself. Show that you're able to make this change. Show that you're able to make this advancement in yourself. But you have to get to that point first. Sometimes we don't see it for ourselves because we don't trust ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. But God is saying that I believe in you. And all you need to do is ask for that renewal of strength. Once you have that renewal of strength, then you can go ahead and proceed to mount up like eagle's wings. They shall run and not be weary. See, you will run and you won't be weary. That means that if you're feeling tired right now in the challenges that you're facing, if the challenges around you are making you tired, are taking you down, then all you need to do is ask the Lord to renew your strength, and you will be able to run without being weary. That's the whole reason why you're tired in the first place. You're tired because you are feeling weary. You're feeling weary. You're exhausted. You're tired of having to push constantly. You're tired of having to go through these challenges and not seeing an end in sight. See, that's why people end up quitting and giving up something that they started. I remember I had to build a cabinet from IKEA, right? And I'm looking at the instructions to this cabinet from IKEA. If anybody's ever purchased something from IKEA, to put together a cabinet from IKEA is a process in itself. I'm sitting there watching the process. I'm looking at the paper. I'm jotting through it. Because sometimes when I'm building something, I look at the image and I say, all right, I envision how the image is going to look. I see it for myself. I know what I have to do. Then I look at the instructions so I can make sure that I'm building it correctly. And as I'm building it, I'm getting so confused because the instructions are jumbled. The images don't make sense. And I'm sitting there putting it together, and then I realize I put something else wrong. And then I got to take it apart. And then I put another piece on. And then as I'm screwing everything together, I realize that I put it backwards. And then I get to the point where I'm just like, you know what? But see, the thing is, my father always taught me that I should never leave something. He used to say, never leave something piece of. So in other words, don't start something and then you just leave pieces of it and you walk away, pieces of it and walk away, pieces of it and walk away. In other words, complete your task. So I had to complete the task in building this cabinet from IKEA. I was able to get it done. And then I was told by my mother that we don't want it. We don't need it. She changed her mind. So they needed me to unassemble. I spent an afternoon building this. I now have to unassemble this thing and put it back in the box. Story of my life. But you see, I had to go through that challenge. I had to go through that, and I did not want to give up. See, we spoke about giving up on Monday. When you're challenged, you should never give up when you're challenged. J Money, what's up? That you should stand firm, that you should not throw in the towel when you are challenged. Because if you do that, if you run away from a challenge, if you step down from a challenge, if you step back from a challenge, then what's going to happen is every time there is a challenge that steps up before you, you are always going to have the same results. You are going to run away from that challenge. You are going to cower behind that challenge. You are going to throw yourselves backwards because you are scared to go against what is in front of you. You cannot be scared of the challenge that's in front of you. See, like I said, mentioned yesterday as well, every day I step out of my house is a challenge. I'm a black man in America. It is a challenge for me every single day when I step out of my house. But I'm not going to sit in my house and be a hermit crab. I'm not going to sit behind my four walls and be scared of what's out there. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to step out there because I need to get out there. The rest of the verse says, they shall walk and not faint. Have you ever walked and fainted? Have you ever run and grew weary? But because you know that you are in a competition, because you knew that you are in a challenge, you wasn't going to give up. You have to remember that a challenge is not going to play fair. See, we have rules and boundaries that we abide by, that we live by. But challenges don't live by those same rules and boundaries. A challenge might occur differently. A challenge might show itself differently because of the fact that we don't have a fair fight, a dog in this fight. See, Satan is not going to be truthful. Satan is not going to wait upon you to be ready. Satan wants you when you are trying to get it together. Satan wants you when you are trying to understand your purpose, understand where you're supposed to be. That's what Satan wants. He doesn't want you to be prepared. He doesn't want you to be ready. And as a result of him not wanting you to be ready, he will take advantage of every weakness that you have. Every ounce of you that is exposed, Satan will try to expose it because he's the type to play dirty. But we can still win. How you say? Very simple. Matthew 11, verse 28 to 30. It says, come to me all who are labor and heavy laden. So when you feel as though that you are dealing with too much, when you feel as though you have so much on your plate, you have too much on your plate, and you're saying to yourself, how on earth can I clear the things off my plate while people are still putting more things on my plate? How can I get rid of this challenge when I have several other challenges that are sitting in front of me? How on earth am I going to be able to do this? And God is saying that if you just come on to me, if you just wait on the Lord, you have to be patient. That is the key word in these two verses. You have to be patient. You have to be patient and wait on the Lord. You have to be patient in coming to him. Sometimes we are so pig-headed. We are so much feeling ourselves that we don't want to go ahead and step up and say, you know what, I need help. And that doesn't mean just with God. That's in general. See, some of us are so determined to get things done by ourselves. We don't want to have help because we want to be able to say, I did this all on my own. I did this because I got the talent. I got the skill. I did this. That's what we want to tell people. Nobody wants to tell other people, oh, I did this with someone else's help. So that's how we treat God. We don't want to step to him. We don't want to ask him for help because we don't want to say that we couldn't do it on our own. But God is saying that you don't have to feel ashamed of not having the tools to get the things that you want to get done, not being able to accomplish your goals. You don't have to say that. You don't have to feel that. All you need to do is come to me and I will give you rest. Come to me, all who are labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. In other words, he's telling us that we have to learn from him, learn from the things that God has been showing us, learn from the things that God has been showing us in other individuals. See, the Bible is filled with examples of people who go through the same things that we go through. Just because of the time frame that the Bible was written doesn't mean the situation and the scenario is not the same today. That is not relevant today. I need you to understand that because of the fact that you go through something today doesn't mean that someone else didn't go through it yesterday. Doesn't mean that someone else didn't go through it years ago. And that someone will be able to give you the advice that you need, that you will be able to accomplish the goal and get through the challenge because you can see that it is doable to get through it because you have someone that has gone through it and they are telling you their story. This is why testimonies are so important because you end up going through something and somebody gives a testimony of what they've been through, and you look back and you say, wow, I went through that. I'm going through that right now. I am so blessed that this individual is going through the same thing I'm going through because now they can tell me to get through it. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. God is saying that we need to learn from him because of who he is, because of what he's done, because of what he continues to do for us. God wants us to not only take up his yoke and learn from him, but he also wants us to grow in faith. How else are you going to be able to grow in faith if you don't learn from your mistakes? Some of us are tired of challenges because we get the same result. That's because of the fact that we don't learn anything from the challenge that we had before. See, if you've been challenged in a certain way and you don't remember the things that you went through in order to complete this challenge, in order to be victorious in this challenge, then you are going to constantly go through the same type of challenge, dressed up differently because you just don't seem to get it. And what the Bible is saying is that you need to come to the understanding that these challenges are never going to stop coming to you, but you need to stand firm and you need to go through these challenges. And once you go through the challenges, you have to also learn from those challenges. Sometimes we don't learn from our challenges. And because we don't learn from our challenges, we tend to go through the same challenge every single day. Day in, day out. We go through the same challenges. And the question for you this morning, aren't you tired of going through the same challenges every day? Aren't you tired of going through what you had to go through? Aren't you tired of the same outcome? Aren't you tired of the same possibilities? Aren't you tired? You have to be so tired of going through the same thing every single day that you have to tell yourself that, you know what? I want something better for myself. I want something better for my life. I don't want to have to go through this every single day. I don't want to go through this every moment of my life. I don't want to go through this every single chance. I don't want to go through this. Instead, what you should be saying is that I'm going to take up the Lord's yoke. I'm going to learn of God. For God is gentle and lowly in heart. You will find rest in your soul. I will find rest in my soul. Maybe right now you're going through a challenge where you feel as though that you don't have any rest. You have no relaxation. You have no chill. Maybe right now you're going through a challenge where you're feeling like you don't have a friend in the world to see you through this. And God is saying that I am here for you. God is saying I am present. Maybe God is saying that, yeah, I see that you're going through these challenges. And I know these challenges are difficult and they're very hard. But I need you to go through them because I want you to be a strong person. I want you to be able to withstand the pressures when they come up. Have you noticed that a challenge that you face is a challenge that is going to be faced later on as well? You might be dealing with something that may seem so minute. And when you get older, you'll go through another challenge, a bigger challenge. But you'll be able to look back and say, hey, wait a minute. I remember something similar to this. And I remember how I got out of it. See, for me, one of the challenges that I faced a few years ago was a sickness. And I was laying there in bed and I was saying to myself, what is it that I have to do in order to get out of this sickness? What is it that I have to do in order for me to get out of this situation? And then I realized what I needed to do. And I needed to trust in God more. I needed to have faith. I needed to be, excuse me, I needed to have full trust in Him. I needed to take up His yoke. And by me doing these things, I was able to not only get through that challenge, but the next time the challenge presented itself, I was able to look back at the old challenge for reference and say to myself, okay, this old challenge here is what I went through, but now I'm going through the same thing. So what were the steps that I took here that helps me prevent what happens here? I was able to get out of that challenge. I was able to be successful in that challenge because I realized the things I had to do. I realized the things I needed to accomplish. I realized how important those things were. And I made sure that I stood close to God. This morning, you might be facing challenges that you may not even understand how you got into. This morning, you might be going through challenges that you may not even have an idea of how you are going to be successful. Sometimes you might experience a challenge today that you might tell yourself, I'm not going to win. And you're going to allow Satan to tell you you're not going to win. I want to encourage you that not every challenge is a challenge for you to lose. In fact, every challenge is for you to win. But you have to have faith in yourself that you'll win. You have to trust yourself that you'll win. You have to listen to yourself, listen to God. By listening to God, by trusting in God, He will be able to take you and place you on solid ground. Psalms 37, verse 7 says, be still before the Lord, wait patiently for Him. Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. Be patient on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. Have faith in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. Lean on the Lord. Some of you this morning might be tired of the challenge. You might be tired of the challenge that you're facing right now. You might be tired of having to wake up every morning dealing with the same challenges. Maybe it's a challenge to get out of bed. Some people, they just can't just jump out of bed like others. Some of us have to walk out of bed very slowly. Some of us need assistance to get out of bed. Every morning is a challenge. Every morning it feels like a challenge. And after that challenge in the morning is done, you have a challenge waiting for you in the afternoon. And you say to yourself, you look up, can I get a break? can I get a break? And then in the evening, you have another challenge. Before you realize it, your day is full of challenges to the point where you just want to lay in bed and say, I don't want to get out of bed because I don't want to face any challenges this morning. I am tired of facing challenges every single day. I am tired of facing challenges every single moment of my life. I am tired of it. You've had that conversation before. I know you had that conversation before. I've had that conversation before where I didn't want to get out of bed because I didn't want to face no challenges this morning. I didn't want to get to work because I didn't want to go through no challenges at work. I didn't want to go to the gym because I didn't want to face any challenges at the gym. I didn't want to face any challenges to the point where I didn't want to eat because I knew that if I ate later on, I would have to deal with the challenges of my digestive system. I don't want to deal with those challenges. I didn't want to deal with those challenges. I didn't need to deal with those challenges. So I chose and I opted to not go through those challenges. But guess what? I realized by me trying to avoid a challenge, those challenges doubled up the next day. I knew that if I tried to run away from the challenge was going to stay put until I decide to come back down this road. See, in life, there's a road that you must take. There's a road you must drive. And if you try to do a detour and try to go around something, you're going to end up going different directions. But guess where that detour is going to lead you? It's going to lead you right back onto the same path. And if you are dealing with the fact that you are running from a challenge, that detour is going to be here and your challenge is going to be here. That detour is going to take you all over the place and it's going to drop you off right here, right back in front of that challenge. Not only did you waste time, not only did you waste energy, not only did you waste stamina, waste resources, but now you're sitting in front of the same challenge and that challenge looks even bigger than it was before. Why does it look bigger than it was before? Because you wasted a whole bunch of time going all over the place and not focusing on the challenge that's in front of you. This morning, I want to encourage you to not feel tired of challenges, not to be tired of challenges. You need to stand firm. You need to stand firm in front of challenges. You need to stand up and say to yourself that you're not going to throw in the towel, putting what's up. You're not going to throw in the towel when it comes to your challenges. You're not going to throw in your abilities when it comes to the challenges. You're going to stand firm. You're going to stand in front of your challenges. You're going to go through your challenge. And not only are you going to go through your challenge, but you're going to be successful in going through your challenge. How much more are you willing to take? What more are you willing to do for your challenges? Are you willing to push like you've never pushed before? Are you ready to have the strength to go through the things that you need to go through? Are you ready to not grow tired, to not grow weary? Do you believe that the Lord has a plan for you? That that plan is for you to prosper? That that plan is for you to be successful? Do you believe that that's what the Lord has in store for you? Sometimes we need a push in the right direction. Sometimes we need a encouragement to lift our spirits. Sometimes we need someone who's going to be present in our lives to help us during those times of difficulties. Sometimes we need someone who's going to lift us up and elevate us when we are looking at defeat. Nobody wants to be defeated. Nobody wants to feel defeat. Everybody always wants to make sure that they have something to show for their hard work and their effort. Somebody always needs to show good faith in what they do. Oh, Puddin, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. We want to remain faithful to God. We want to stand firm. And sometimes you have to go through challenges in order to feel victory. We talked about that yesterday. You have to go through challenges in order to be victorious. But how far are you willing to push in order to be victorious? How far are you willing to go in order to be victorious? Are you waiting till somebody comes up and helps you? Are you waiting? Or are you trying to go out there and do this on your own? Get the ball started. I leave you with the story of a team, this basketball team. Every morning before school, this basketball team meets in the gym and they work on drills. They only work on drills. They work on drills every single morning because the coach wants them to get perfect. The coach wants them to get better at what they got to do. Wait a minute. Now I know who putting this. Oh man, you over the top. You over the top. I was like, I was looking at it. I was like, oh, putting things. Put. I was like, wait, hold on. I don't remember. I don't remember putting being in mind. And then I looked at the description. When I see slick mouth, I'm like, oh, now I know who put it. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm over here. That's funny. That's funny. You got that. You got that. You got that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of not an inside joke. It's just an epiphany. An epiphany. That's cool. That's cool. So I forgot what I was saying now. All right, basketball team. So every morning, this basketball team comes together for drills, right? And the coach always tells them that you guys are not going to. Nah. You good? You good? It just took me a while. Um, the coach was telling them that you guys are not going to be successful as a team until you guys learn how to function as a unit. And he was saying that you need distracted you, uh, something like that. He talked about that you have to come together as a unit, that the team needed to come together as a stronghold so that they will be successful in facing the challenges in other teams. See, other teams are going to step to the plate. Other teams are going to step up and get into the face of this team. Other teams are going to challenge. But if you guys are not prepared to work together as a team, then those other teams are going to run over you. So every morning they practice their drills. Every afternoon they practice their drills. They weren't allowed to just shoot around and have fun. They had to practice their drills before they had a chance to even loosen up. And because of the strict regimen that the coach had this team on, this team was able to be all state. And because they were all state, they were able to look back. And when they asked them, well, how are you guys so successful? What's your trick? The players said, there's no trick. The reason why we work together so well as a team is because we are a team. That when one of us feels tired, the rest of us steps up so that the other one can get a break. So we don't put all of the pressure on one of our players. We don't put all of the pressure on one of our guys. We want every single one of them in our team to have, what was the word I'm looking for? To experience the joys of being part of a team. That's why one person doesn't hold up the team. We all equally hold up the team. It doesn't matter what position we play. You could be riding the bench. You still hold up part of this team. You could be the point guard. You still hold up this team. You could just be designated to take the rebounds. You're still holding up part of this team. And that's why we're so successful as a unit, because we see each other as one. We don't get tired of challenges because we welcome challenges. You need to get to that point in life where you welcome challenges, where you are not sitting around waiting for a challenge to come up in front of you and then getting nervous where you don't know what to do when the challenge is in front of you. You need to get to the point where you are welcoming challenges because of the fact you know that you are going to be successful against those challenges. We have to get to that point where we are completely committed to facing those challenges. And not only facing those challenges, but also being committed to stand firm in front of those challenges. That the challenge is not going to uptake us or defeat us, but we are going to stand firm in front of those challenges. That we are going to make sure that the challenge is not going to be the end all be all. That's what made these kids so successful. That's what made these kids so strong. And I know that firsthand because these kids, this team was my high school team. I wasn't part of the team. I wasn't part of the team. But I remember how my basketball team from my school became all state because every morning and every afternoon they would practice the same drills to where it was embedded in their mind. They weren't scared of a little challenge. They weren't nervous because the challenge presented itself to them. In fact, they stood firm. They took up that challenge. They wasn't going to be punks. Neither should you. This morning is all about tired of challenges. Thank you for the frappuccino and the high five. I appreciate you. Enchantress, what's going on? Thank you, Pudding. A challenge can either make you or break you. And that's what we've been focused on this week. Ever since I decided to talk about challenges, I have been facing challenges this entire week. Like this week, I started this week with my eyes all messed up. All right. I don't know why my eyes were messed up. But usually I do contacts one week, glasses the next week. All right. This week, it was bad. The first 2 days was bad. And I was saying to myself, it's so messed up because I had to go to work this week. I had to teach kids this week. And I was saying to myself, why on earth am I going through this? Why do I have to go through this today, Monday? Now my eyes are feeling better. I had to teach kids engineer terms with Legos. And this week has been an absolute blessing. The reason why this week was an absolute blessing is because those kids learned. I was able to teach them. Yesterday was our last day and we had a great time. When I asked the question, what did you guys learn this week? They were able to tell me. They're going to be able to go and pick up any Lego set and look at the pieces that are within that Lego set and say, hey, I know what this piece is. I know what overlap means. I know what an axle is. I know what a gear is. I know what a bushing is. I know what a studless beam is. That made me sad in a good way to see that. But that was a challenge that I had to face this week. And not only did I have to face that challenge this week, not only had I had to go through that challenge. What's up, Taco? Good to see you this morning. Not only did I have to face that challenge this week, but once I started, it was no longer a challenge for me. I was looking forward to it because I knew whatever I had to do, whatever I needed to do for those kids, I knew I was going to do it for them. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. When it comes to challenges in your life, you can step to the plate. You can step up. You can go against those challenges. You don't have to cower behind those challenges. You don't have to be a punk. Look those challenges in the face and say that you're going to go through them. And don't be scared. Don't be nervous going through those challenges. We're going to do our roll call and we're going to pray. Today is supposed to be hot, like fire. So stay cool, stay hydrated this weekend. So my Facebook group, Brother Keith, my brother Mark, good to see you guys this morning. Brother Paul, Mother Marisol, good to see you this morning as well. Like me, my sister Enchantress, good to see you. My sister Taco, good to see you this morning. One up, always good to see you, my sister. One up. Puddin', good to see you, Puddin'. Chatterbox, good to see you, bro. Little Mommy, blessings, good to see you. Claire Diva 40, blessings, good to see you. Walid, good to see you. Kimdrick, good to see you, bro. J Money, good to see you, bro. Eni Ski, blessings, good to see you, my sister. Pretty Nell, good to see you. Gemini, Too Petty, good to see you this morning. Okay. It's Deja. Good to see you, it's Deja. Pretty Nell, blessings, good to see you. All right. Let's pray, y'all. Father in heaven, we just want to thank you, Lord, for giving us this time, this moment, this opportunity to spend with you. Continue to guide me and bless me. Continue to guide us and bless us, dear Lord. Help us, Lord, that we will never get tired of challenges, that we will always step to the challenge, dear Father, that we will always step up for the challenge, step up to a challenge. Help us, Lord, to remember that you are in charge, you are in control, and we are to leave everything to you, dear Lord. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your love and your guidance. Continue to be honest with us. Continue to love us and grant us each day as an opportunity to serve you. Help us, Lord, not to get tired of challenges, but to stand firm in front of them. In Christ's name, amen. Let's go to the lake. I wish there was a lake nearby me. I got no lakes, but we try to do something. That'd be kind of cool. Dream Red, what's up? Good to see you this morning. All right, everyone. So tomorrow we're going to finish up this devotion of challenges. Tomorrow morning, we're going to finish this up. And then on Monday, we're going to start back with Proverbs. We're going to finish up Proverbs. I think we have about a couple of chapters left in Proverbs. So hopefully we'll finish up Proverbs this week. All right. And we'll be done with Proverbs. And then next time we'll go into another one. But that's what we're going to be doing these next few days. All right. So again, you guys have a great day, a blessed day, a strong day. It's Saturday, Sabbath. So make sure you go out there and you take good control of yourself. When I say that, I mean, make sure you stay cool. Make sure you stay hydrated out there. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of this day. And I shall see you guys on the next broadcast. All right. Take care, y'all.